Picture a trained hitman deliberately stepping into the world's most fearsome jail to carry out a unique task. However, whether he manages to break free or not unfolds as the story is told. Our narrative kicks off with an individual called Arthur Bishop, dwelling in a boat by the ocean. Awakening one morning, he stepped off the boat post, consuming his coffee. Following this, he set off an explosive on the boat, ensuring it remained theft-proof. How is this a method to prevent theft? Later, he arrived at a restaurant on his motorcycle. All people present there recognized him, and the owner's son guided him to a seat by the ocean. Shortly after, a woman approached, took a seat next to him, and revealed she had been searching for him for quite some time. She conveyed that her employer desired Bishop to eliminate 3 individuals, making their demise appear accidental. She was confident Bishop could easily handle it, given his extensive experience in such matters. She warned him to agree or she'd call the police. She'll told that Bishop is alive since he last dodged the police by feigning death. Bishop noticed others who were with the girl, keeping watching him. He quickly snapped a photo of her. When she reached for her gun, Bishop lunged at her. Her allies then went after Bishop, but he overcame them individually. Then, of course, he saw that more goons were coming down to catch him, so he jumped from the wall and hung on the cable car. The girl followed Bishop with her friends and entered the cable car. She was looking for Bishop inside, but he was on the roof. The girl fired a gun on the roof, but Bishop jumped in time and landed on a parachute. At night, when he was going to his board, he saw that 2 people were already present there. Without wasting any time, he took out his phone and blew up the boat. After this, he reached at the port area. He opened a box and burnt his passports and other documents. Then Bishop went to an island in Thailand, where he met a girl whom he already knew. This girl was the owner of a hotel there. She took him to a room, and Bishop took out a bag from a hidden place. It contained many phones, weapons, and passports. When he found out some information about the girl in the picture, he found out that this girl actually works for a man named Crane. On the other hand, the girl named Gina met the hotel owner and asked her for some medicines. The owner saw many wounds on her arms as if someone had beaten her badly. The owner tried to help her, but Gina said that she only wanted medicines and then went away from there. At night, the lady saw a boat in the ocean where a person was hitting a girl. She immediately went to Bishop and asked him to help that girl. Bishop agreed and reached the board and said, "Hey, if you are a true man, then leave this girl." That girl was Gina, but that man did not listen to Bishop and took out his gun. For this mistake, Bishop beat him badly and killed him. After this, he told the mistress to take Gina to the hotel. Then, when he investigated the vote, he found Gina's passport and phone, which had Bishop's photo. Finally, he blew up the vote and left the hotel. When he came back, he asked Gina what his picture was doing in Gina's phone. He asked Gina clearly if she also worked for Kane. Then she replied in a scared voice that Kane was threatening her. Everything that has occurred was planned by Crane, enabling Gina to encounter Bishop. Gina revealed her sole purpose was to connect with Bishop, dial a number, and then her task would be complete. Bishop learned Gina takes care of orphaned kids who are at risk of trafficking. Crane intimidated Gina, threatening to harm her children if she disobeyed him. Bishop noticed a boat approaching the island, filled with men surveilling the area. Bishop told Gina, "Pretend we are friends, so Crane won't suspect." She did so, and Bishop apologized to her for dragging her into all this, but he had no choice but to do so. Bishop said that he was happy to know that she takes care of orphans because he himself was an orphan. In childhood, he and Crane were bought by a gangster. Of course, Bishop managed to escape from his clutches, but Crane could not. So he punished Crane, thinking it to be his fault, and since then Crane hates Bishop. Well, to get Gina out of this trouble, he made a plan and gave his watch as a token. The next day, the men on Crane kidnapped Gina. Then, Bishop called Crane and challenged them to a fight. When they both met, Bishop said to Crane, "Leave Gina, or else it will not be good for you. She is a very nice girl. Let her go." But Crane said, "I will let you go, but for that, you will have to kill 3 people. cold-blooded murder. An African gangster, the first man mentioned, is locked up in the world's deadliest prison. Later, Crane asked Bishop to sallow up a GPS device to allow his crew to locate Bishop once the task is done. When Bishop demanded evidence of Gina's survival, Crane mentioned he could speak to Gina via phone after each task, promising her freedom following 3 missions. Bishop then began his efforts, discovering the prison was set amidst the sea, surrounded by rocky terrains and towering mountains, making entry nearly unfeasible. Subsequently, Bishop gathered data on various criminals, choosing one with a facial tattoo, and adopted his appearance. He then purchased what was needed for the mission. The following day, while wandering the streets, police mistook him for a gangster and jailed him. In prison, he noticed his target always moved with a group of 4 or 5. A fellow prisoner told him that this man's name was Krill and he had killed the president of Liberia. So far, many prisoners had tried to kill Krill. When Grill was attacked again, this time Bishop saved his life. Grill thanked him and invited him for dinner. When Bishop went to meet him, he killed Grill and everyone thought that he had died by eating poisonous food. Bishop then blew up the wall of his prison and sprayed his entire body with such a spray that the sharks would not come near him. Finally, he shallowed the GPS capsule and jumped into the sea. On the other side, the captain of the board got a message that Bishop has completed the job. Kane's men found his location and saved him. Then Bishop spoke to his Gina on the phone, and Gina told him that Bishop has only 36 hours to kill the next man. Otherwise, they will kill Gina. Crane provided details on another individual, Aden, a billionaire involved in human trafficking. Accessing him was challenging as he resided on the 851st floor of an Australian building, fortified with bulletproof walls, doors, and windows, plus sensors and fingerprint scanners installed throughout. Bishop then purchased the property beneath Aden's, where he precisely duplicated the keys and house map. Then he made glass-breaking bombs in it, and disguised as a cleaning man, he entered that house. Entering from the house window, he got to Adrian's pool and planted bombs. When Adrian entered for a swim, Bishop detonated them, causing Adrian falls from the pool and died. Gina called again, this time smartly revealing her prison's boat number. Bishop flew to her location in a helicopter, eliminated several thugs, yet was captured shortly after. Then Crane issued a final warning, stating, "I'll forgive you now, but if it recurs, unfortunately, Gina will die, and it'll be your fault." Now, Bishop's last mission was to kill Max, who lived in America. He was hiding in a building which was built on top of a mountain, and there was a factory of submarines. Big missiles were hidden in all these submarines. It was impossible for anyone to enter or exit from there secretly. Whoever tried to enter there fell into the jaws of death. Bishop had 48 hours to accomplish this task. He got the news that Max had ordered a helicopter, so he hid under the helicopter and tried to reach Max. Upon his strategy being triumphant, he managed to disable every single camera within the premises. Commotion erupted, and guards escorted Max to a secure room. An explosion occurred in the elevator, yet Max made it to the room. Here, Bishop was already waiting. He faked killing Max to deceive Crane. The strategy was, once Crane's crew searched for Max's body, Crane would be solo on the boat, making it easy to eliminate him. Following the plan, they acted as if Max had died, and right after the explosion, Bishop saved him from the ocean and took him to an island. Then Bishop called Crane and asked him to let Gina go, but Crane first demanded to see Max's body. Bishop told him that the body was lying in his submarine. After this, Crane sent his men to the submarine to see Max's body. Bishop had also made preparations for them by placing bombs everywhere. As soon as his men reached there, Bishop gunned them down. On the other hand, Crane saw all this through his cameras. After this, Bishop reached the crane boat and killed all the guards. Meanwhile, Gina also got shot. At the same time, Crane activated the bomb in the boat. Bishop quickly freed Gina and took her to a box which got separated from the board before the explosion. Now a fierce battle between Bishop and Crane started. He tied Kane with chains, and then the boat exploded. Gina escaped, while Max's men took out the debris of the boat. After some time, Gina was with her children, and she saw that Bishop was standing in front of her eyes. Actually, Bishop had hidden in the steel room of the boat, which is useful during emergency, and in this way he escaped the explosion. If you liked the video, then like it and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.